Hello and welcome to the latest Lukozer PC game review video, and this one probably won't surprise anybody given that I've been doing a few gameplay videos of it. And initially I wasn't actually going to do this review until I had at least completed it once, and was starting another playthrough it with a different character. But at the moment it's a case of I don't really have much else to do at the moment. I could do this, or I could be downstairs watching Murder, She Wrote. This one quite comfortably. I still say they should make a final episode of Murder, She Wrote where it's revealed that Jessica Fletcher is one of America's most prolific serial killers, and also has the ability to set up various members of the public, because it seems wherever she goes somebody drops dead, and yet she's always above suspicion. Anyway, that's not entirely relevant. So, Dragon Age Inquisition, the third of the Dragon Age games, and it does follow on somewhat significantly from Dragon Age 2. I'm going to go on the assumption that anyone watching this is familiar with the Dragon Age series and have either played the previous games or are familiar with the events of the previous games. So Dragon Age 2 basically ended with the Mage Rebellion, and basically the mages and Templars at each other's throats, and it's essentially some war between the two. Now the events of Dragon Age Inquisition start with an attempt at some sort of peace conference between mages and Templars, and you can see here the mages and the Templars heading towards this building in the background, which is the Conclave, which is basically the seat of power of the Chantry, which is the Dragon Age equivalent of the church. So this building here is basically their equivalent of like the Vatican City or something. And during the meeting this huge explosion happens and kills loads of high-ranking members of both sides, plus a number of high-ranking members of the Chantry, and one of them being the Divine, who I guess is their equivalent of the Pope, except it's always a woman. And you play one of the few survivors, and you've also you have this strange magical thing that has attached itself to your left hand, which you find you're able to use to, well, we'll come to that bit in a moment. Now I'll start up my game, which is rather handy. I'm in Skyhold, which is your base of operations, or at least eventually it is. At the beginning it's not. So wait for that to load up. Okay, well, while it is loading, because I forgot it does take a bit to load, a theme that all of the Dragon Age games had, or at least everyone after Origins, is they often refer back to previous events, whether it's be actually referring to the events themselves or referring to characters, and even having characters from previous games showing up in this one, which I always think is a pretty good touch. And Awakening allowed you to import the events from Origins, so it could make genuine references to them in-game. Dragon Age 2 took that even further, and it made a lot of various references to it, even though none of the events of Dragon Age 2 really had anything to do with the first two, well, I say first two games, the first 1.5 games, Origins and Awakening. And yes, this one took it even further, but it did it in a new way. Instead of importing saves, you have to go to a website, the Dragon Age Inquisition website, and you can set up the storyboard to cover various events. So you can set it so that it's identical to the events as you had them in Origins, in Awakening and in Dragon Age 2, or if you feel like it, you can change them to whatever you like. Now initially a lot of people didn't like that. They wanted it to import the saves just as it did with Awakening and Dragon Age 2. I'm not one of them actually. I like the way that they've done it, because now it's a lot easier for you to change things that are supposed to have happened in the past from the various other games. You can simply do that by just changing things on that website. You don't have to go back and play through the entire bloody previous game again, just in order to implement a couple of changes to the history. So this way you can change history about as much as you want, and it's not going you know, it doesn't take you 5 minutes to do all of that. So I quite like that feature. So anyway, here we are in the Great Hall in Skyhold, which I have an annoying habit of calling Skyfall, as in the Bond film. Now, as you can see, graphically it's quite stunning, but then it's a Dragon Age game. It would be.
It'd be simpler to just admit you've never bought around. You won't get next, and likely you never will.
Yesterday, I ate a pleated leather shoe.
Oh, come on. Let's teach you normal life.
Yes. So, yeah, so graphically it's phenomenal. Sound-wise it's also phenomenal, especially when you're attacking dragons. Dragons sound extremely impressive. They also look extremely impressive. Everything is more or less the same in terms of, you know, going through your inventory, your character sheet. It's a bit like a hybrid between Origins stroke Awakening and
sitting around here, tempers get short, and fighting. I saw one
and Dragon Age 2.
like he was gonna draw a dagger at the man who was after him. Looks lucky he'd lost his dagger, or there'd have been more than a bloody nose.
Right, that conversation you just overheard is actually quite relevant.
Right, if you're so smart, tell me how Charybdis can do all those things. How it's not helped. Seems to be.
So anyway, so yes, so graphically impressive, audibly it's impressive, gameplay wise it's extremely impressive. The storyline is immense. There are a huge number of areas that you go to. This is just the local map of where I am at the moment in the actual courtyard at Skyhold itself. If we go to the world map, all of these regions here, Stormcoast, Crestwood, Hinterlands, Fallowmire, that's Skyhold, the Lost Temple of the Tharman, the Emprise de Lyon, Emerald Greys, Exalted Plains, Val Royeaux, the Hissing Wastes and Forbidden Aces. All of those are playable areas, and they're all pretty bloody huge. The smallest one is down here, the Fallowmire. But just because it's you know, the smallest. It doesn't mean it is a small area. It's not a small area at all. And indeed, these are not all of the playable areas. There's one I haven't done yet, which is the western approaches, which is somewhere near these two. I think it'll be about here. And in fact, there's also another playable area, which I assume is what this symbol here is representing, and this looks like a... well, no, I guess it doesn't look much like a town, really, does it? Maybe just what this symbol here is indicating, and that's the actual court of Orlais itself. It looks like now that I've finished that area, because it's part of the actual main campaign missions, I can't go back there, which is a bit of a pain, because I could have got some more experience points by going back there. So what I shall do then is I'll use the fast travel system, which is extremely handy because it allows you to, well, as the name suggests, travel around rather quickly. And when you first arrive in Skyhold, it is quite easy to get lost. You need to familiarise yourself with the layout. So you head to here, summoning the War Council. This is the war table, and it's from here that you select the missions to be doing, and also find out how successful previous missions have been. It makes a note here of Inquisition perks. Now, as you get them, it allows you to spend them on improving various aspects. You can improve various aspects of either the Inquisition itself, or just yourself, or you can even improve various things for your companions by getting in better armour or weapons for the various character classes. Anyway, these flashing exclamation marks means that this mission has been done. So that is the report. That is what I get as a result of that. That's an upgrade part, a masterwork balanced pommel, which is actually not a bad upgrade at all. That is a schematic we've been given. I may have to check and see how good that one is. And okay, well, that again is another schematic. So right, those three missions done. Now, all of these missions with the flashing sort of crosses above them, you send the three various members of the Inquisition hierarchy, I guess, for a lack of a better word, who are Josephine, who takes care of anything diplomatic-wise, Cullen, whose name you may remember if you played either Origins or Dragon Age 2. He obviously takes care of the army. He's no longer a Templar. And the third one is Leliana, who you will certainly know if you played Origins, because she is one of your companions there. Now she's the Spy Master, and she will take care of anything that involves that. Now, that mission is to collect resources. I'm not that fussed about getting just resources yet. I'm doing fine for those. Right, let's do this one. I have all three of them available, so all I really look at is the time, and the one that takes the shortest I go for that one. So Josephine can take care of that mission there. I have a feeling Josephine, oh no, wouldn't have been the quickest one. Cullen is. Right.
Alright.
We shall assign him that. Now that means the only ones left are ones that Leliana can do. Okay. Right, I can't be asked to read that. Let's have a look. So Josephine would not be available to do this mission anyway, but Leliana is the one who can do it the quickest, although 5 hours 36 minutes, that's a bloody long time.
Let's see what we have.
That is real time it takes to do those missions, but it calculates the time by the actual time of day. So if you start that and then close the game and come back and play the game again in, say, you know, 6 hours time, that mission is finished. I'm in two minds as to whether or not that's a good thing. Actually, there's something I've forgotten to show you. Right, these things here, the larger, okay, there's not that many on this side, but they are to take you to various regions. This one here, the thing that looks like a huge sword or a huge knife that's been stuck in the table, that means that was an area where there is an actual campaign mission. So there's two over here, there's a third one here, but that's on the side of Ferelden, which we can't access. If we go onto the Ferelden side, so you can see there's one there, there's another one there, and then you have the regions again here. So that's one way of accessing them. In fact, when it's the first time you're going to those areas, it's the only way you can access them. There's one here that I have not yet done, which is investigate the western approach. And the reason I haven't done it yet is because this sort of swirling green cloud indicates that that is a campaign mission. So if you go there, you trigger off part of the campaign. And I wanted to build up my character and my companions so that they were pretty strong before I went on to do this one. I'm almost there. My character is now level 20, and I was under the impression that there was a level cap and that level 20 was that cap, but I'm still getting experience points, so maybe it is possible for me to carry on going to level 21 onwards. I don't know, but I want to get the rest of my companions to level 20, and then I'm going to come back and do that mission there. And that particular mission is one that definitely involves previous characters from previous Dragon Age games. They play a very major part in that one. So what I'm trying to do, as well as do a review, is also try to not give away too many spoilers, because, I mean, I'll cut to the chase. I think the game is superb, and I think that yeah, if you were a fan of Origins and Awakening, you'll love this. If you were a fan of Dragon Age 2, you will love this. And Dragon Age 2 gets a very bad, you know, press. A lot of people will slag it off. I mean, yeah, okay, it was nowhere near as good as Origins or Awakening. That does not mean it's a bad game. There are loads of games that are nowhere near as good as Origins, and yet they're still bloody good. Dragon Age 2 did cut an awful lot of corners. But, I mean, it was by no means terrible. But, yeah, if you're a fan of either of those, you will definitely be a fan of this. If you are a fan, or if you are a fan of computer RPGs of any kind, you will be a fan of this. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best PC RPG I have ever played. And I didn't think I was ever going to say that in light of how good Origins was. I didn't think this would be able to be as good as Origins, but it is. Indeed, the reason I think it's better than Origins is because the story is, well, a lot better. It's a lot more involved. There is a lot more to do. and it also the characters in this one they're certainly a lot more interesting than any of the characters in Dragon Age 2, even though one of your companions in this is also a companion in Dragon Age 2. So yeah, in terms of the characters in there, they are all certainly a lot better than any in Dragon Age 2. They are at least as good as those in Origins. So they've definitely got that right. They've made the characters interesting, and you know, you do actually, you know, whether it's what's the best way to put it? They certainly invoke actual real feelings. You either like them or you detest them, and I always think, you know, if a role-playing game is able to bring out those sort of feelings, then it's clearly done something right in the characterizations. The best example I can give is the character Dorian, who is he's a mage from Tevinter. Okay, I am going to give away a spoiler, I'm afraid, with this one. It's revealed that he's gay, and his father hates that. And because the characterization is done so well, it brings out the feelings in me. I have nothing but contempt for people who are homophobic. I mean, I am not gay myself, but I detest anybody who is anti-gay. And so even though the game, I mean, it's not telling you have to do this or this, but it does sort of try to suggest that you may want to listen to both sides of the argument, Dorian's and his father's. But because it, you know, because Dorian told me that his father hates him because he's gay, I then had no interest in hearing his father's side whatsoever. And so that shows how well the characterization has been done, I think, because, like I say, it evokes my own feelings, my own opinions really well. Anyway, I'm doing an awful lot of talking and not actually showing you a great deal of the game. So let's go to an area. Right, we'll go to this area here, the Hissing Waste. And the reason I'm choosing this one is because, as you can see from the map, I haven't actually explored very much of it. This was the last area that I've been to. I'm sure there is plenty to do in this area because this one is enormous. So here are the choice of characters. You have Sarah the Rogue, there is Dorian the Mage, Varric the Rogue is the one who was in Dragon Age 2. Cassandra the Warrior is actually the Seeker who is interrogating Varric throughout Dragon Age 2. You have Blackwall, who is a Grey Warden, the Warrior. Cole, who I think is one of the most interesting characters that the Dragon Age series has ever made. He's a rogue. He's essentially, well, no, essentially about it. He is a spirit who exists in the real world. He's left the Fade, so you could almost say he's a ghost of some kind. But it's just brilliantly done. He's rather strange, but yeah, it works well. Vivienne is a mage. I don't really care for her too much, to be honest. Solas a mage. He's pretty good actually. And Iron Ball, who is immensely strong warrior. He's a Kunari. He also leads a band of mercenaries. Now I have a pretty set group that I always take with me, which is Cassandra, Sarah and Dorian. So we'll take these three with us and head to the Hissing Wastes. Now the Hissing Wastes is basically an enormous desert, so you may think, well, we're not going to be able to see a great deal as far as, you know, lush scenery and everything, and yeah, I guess to a degree that's right. The scenery here isn't as impressive as there are in some other areas, but I mean, I've done what, 4 gameplay videos. If you want to see some lush scenery and some impressive yeah, environmental graphics. Go and check them out because there are plenty of them there. Right, so here we are. Now, although it's not really anything to do with these missions, I am quite keen on finding some quarries to dig up stone, which I need to improve Skyhold. Chances are, though, I'm not going to find much of it. Now, with the map, you can... oh, there's a quarry there. And another one there. In fact, there are 3 close by in this area alone. Right, so if you right click, it highlights it there, and it gives you somewhere to head towards as you check the mini-map there, so you've got a pretty good idea of the direction you need to go. And when you arrive, you'll see it actually highlighted in the game area itself. So it makes finding your way around not simple, but it helps. The other thing is that unlike any of the previous games, there is an awful lot of locations where you're having to clamber up mountains and all that around here, and they can be quite tricky to find your way around and try and climb up. But there is something that helps you with that, because this is not only the first Dragon Age game, but it's the first PC RPG I have ever played where you have the ability to do this. Yes, you can actually jump. I mean, I realise that is an extremely rare ability among, you know, adventurers, but you have actually now got the ability to jump up and down, which helps to negotiate various rather difficult to reach areas. Anyway, we found some enemies, some Red Templars. They are, well, they're not the main enemy, but they are among the enemy. Oh, fucking hell. Right, well, I made a right fuck up of that. Let's too busy bloody waffling away. Right, well, if they're... oh shit, I was about to say if they're running. Right, let's try and set fire to the bastards. He's gone down. And that looks like that's the last of them. So now I finally clamber up. I don't know if I got the experience points or not. I think I do, just because I was in the area. But despite being level 20, because I wasn't really concentrating too much, I missed out on on that one big time. Right, it also looks like I can't just walk straight towards that quarry, because there's a big old load of rocks in the way. Let's see if I can walk around them. I'm guessing that's a no. Okay, let's go this way around then. Now in the first 2 Dragon Age games, I didn't bother getting a lot of crafting materials because I just found it easier to just buy everything that I was, you know, needing. But yes, here in this game, I'm now actually able to finish upgrading the courtyard. But anyway, in this one, upgrading, not upgrading, using crafting materials proves to be extremely beneficial. And so it's definitely something you want to do. If you were someone who did do a lot of crafting in either Origins, Awakening or Dragon Age 2, then yeah, you'll have no problem. It's just carry on doing what you were doing. If, like me, you didn't do an awful lot of it, it takes a bit of getting used to, but it is well worth getting used to, because yeah, it's... I'm going to get my health back up before I try taking these cunts on. Alright, here we go. Well, whatever was in that cage is not there anymore. That's one down. And that's a lot of them. Okay, this time they've dropped loot, so we can actually loot the bodies. That's not particularly useful. Looks like that's all that's here. Yeah, it is.
What, Dorian? Stop looking at me.
I'm wondering if familiarity would cure your suspicion of magic.
I don't need to be familiar with your tool.
Please stop saying tool. And consider how much magic can accomplish. There are benefits for you and everyone. As the Maker said, magic exists to serve.
I don't care. I like you, Dorian. Don't ruin it.
They finally shut up. Whilst were they seriously carrying on that conversation while they were killing these things? Actually, I wouldn't have been at all surprised. Oh yeah, that looks like a wyvern, as I call them, or wyvern as they call them in the game. Yes, it is. Right, the last wyvern I came across was pretty easy, but he was only level 15. This one's level 19, so I suspect this one's not going to be quite so straightforward. We don't seem to be doing an awful lot. And that's him down. Seem to be saying I didn't get any experience points for that. I thought I'd get some. Maybe that means that yeah, there is that level cap then, so I can't get any more experience points than I already have. This spider is going to attack us, I think. Oh no, he's pissing off. Right, well I've got no problem with that. I'm more interested in claiming some more quarries. Fucking hell, more Red Templars. That is a Red Templar behemoth in the distance there. So the Red Templars are certainly here in numbers. Here we go. What the fuck is that that's just cropped up? Well, I don't really want to attack it, but he's got in the fucking way, so... Right, okay. It's a gun. That's a new one on me. Shit. I didn't even get a chance to fucking... Those fucking... shadow things don't half move quickly. Now I'm fucking out of it. Now I am no good as a fighter, so I have a feeling this is not going to go well. Right, here we go, time to use that. There we go. I kind of had to use that really. But it looks like, well, clearly my armour is not that great. Although that's not that surprising. I'm not meant to be in the front line. None of the mages are really meant to be in the front line or anything like that, you know. Right. Well, use up some more of our health potions. Let's deal with this thing. He's going down. Okay, well I got some experience points for that one. Not a lot, 62. Okay. Is everything here? No, something else here. What's this? Okay. There is another quarry. Oh fuck, and there is another wyvern, or wyvern. I thought wyverns were meant to have wings. I thought they were meant to be two-legged dragons with wings. Oh well. Whatever they are, it's time to try and kill this one. Over there, another one. Oh, fuck it, let's see if we can try and claim this quarry before we take that thing on. Yeah. So that's 3 quarries I've got. I need another 2 and then I can upgrade everything in Skyhold, which is my plan. And there's one close by, along with an area where we can build a camp, and by doing that we can replenish our stocks of healing potions, seeing as I've already had to use 4 of them and I've essentially died twice. Oh fucking hell, there's 2 of them here. Right, this could be tricky. Mind you, thankfully the second one... Oh, okay, I was about to say the second one's pissing off, but no he ain't. Well, that's one down. The second one don't look too far behind. Certainly won't be after that. There we go. I didn't get anything for killing him. Alright, well anyway, more wyvern scales there. And yet more there. Alright, let's see if we can find this campsite. I have a horrible feeling it's... Oh, for fuck's sake, there's another one. Well, we've got to get past it, which means we've got to fight our way past it. Oh, there we go. And it looks like the campsite that it's found is currently being held by Red Templars, so we've got to defeat them in order to take that area. Alright, that's him dealt with. And if that wasn't enough, there is at least one more wyvern in the area. but they're attacking those things. Well, that could prove beneficial. It could be a decent distraction. Let's give it a go. In fact, I'll give this a go because there is an awful lot in that area. I've killed someone. Okay, that's that night done. I think this woman here is the last enemy in the area. That would be extremely handy if that is the case. There we go.
I can't figure you out, Sarah.
That's a surprise, isn't it?
You just picked up a bow one day and poof, expert marksman. A veritable savant.
A what?
A savant. A natural, meaning you needed no training.
Not your business if I do or didn't. Like I don't ask if you naturally shoot fireballs out your arse, or just opinions.
I'll keep that in mind.
Alright, well, whatever this was, it's not the campsite. Campsite is a bit further on. Nothing else here. Okay. Which side of that rock is it? This side, I think. Take a look at this. Okay, wasn't very interesting, but I can sell it for more gold, and I certainly need more gold. That is the campsite area. It's not being held by anyone, but somewhere close by is. Okay, well, let's do it. We'll set up the camp here.
Inquisitor.
There is the Red Templar camp. Let's now go and sort them out now that I've got all of our... Oh no, it's not. It's the Venatori. The Venatori are the main enemies in the game. That's who you are actually trying to destroy. Just move in a bit closer. Especially as that's a mage. Mages may not be able to take much damage, but they can seriously deal it out. So I'll try and finish them off. Then this marksman, who is also being a bit of an arsehole. That's them sorted out. None of them dropped anything. Pick up this plant, which is a crafting item. Okay, what have they just found that's... Nothing here, leave it alone. Right, let's find that quarry. Where was it? Just over here. Ah shit, it's a logging stand. I don't need logging stands. At least I don't think I need logging stands. Okay, well, it wasn't the quarry, but nevertheless I set up a camp. Anyway, you've got a pretty good idea of the gameplay. Oh, for fuck's sake, let's just kill this thing just so that it then doesn't keep showing up as an enemy. Done. So it said there was some loot in the area, yeah. Right, so anyway, you've seen the gameplay. So yes, as I was saying, the story is fantastic. The characters and the characterization is superbly done. Graphically, it is phenomenal. Sound-wise, it's extremely good. I mean, it has pretty much everything there for me to rate it a 10 out of 10, but it does have a couple of issues that stop me from doing that. Firstly, we'll head back to the camp so that I can... Firstly, when you level up, they have simplified it to ridiculous levels. A lot of people complained that Dragon Age 2's levelling up system was overly simple, which it was. This is even more overly simple. The only thing you can do when you level up is add a new ability. Depending on how many points you have to spend, you can get that many new abilities. If you're a mage, that means a new spell. If you're a warrior, it means a new, fighting ability with either sword or sword and shield, or double-handed weapons. If you're a rogue, it gives you, you can... Actually, the rogue is the only one where there is a bit of variation. You can give yourself either more abilities with a bow, or more abilities with daggers, or you can improve like other roguish areas such as stealth abilities, trap making abilities, and using poisons and stuff like that. But that's all you do. So your attributes here, like the usual stuff: strength, dexterity, magic, cunning, willpower, and constitution. They never change throughout the game, or at least you can't change them yourself. You can't select, to add like 1 to constitution or whatever. When you unlock some abilities, if we go here, I can show you here. There, so if you unlock this one, Peaceful Aura, it will give you +3 willpower. And yeah, this one here gives you +3 constitution. And that's the only way you can actually change your attributes. The other thing is the tactics. You'll see here that you have 8 of these quick slots, and that means you can only use 8 special abilities, and in my case with the mage, that's 8 spells. Now at some point in the game you will get this ability, the Mark of the Rift, and that's always there. So in effect you only actually have 7 abilities, and regardless of how many spells, as it is for me, or specific fighting abilities that you unlock, you can still only use 8 of them, which I think is very limiting. Now granted, Dragon Age 2 was much the same, but I mean Origins you could have a huge amount. I think the only limitation was the resolution of your screen, to see how many of those quick slots that you could actually occupy with whatever spell or whatever ability and that you put in there. And I wish they had kept that. I wish they'd kept it as it was in Origins. So that's a bit disappointing. It's been simplified far too much. The other issues, stability is not fantastic. could be that the stability is driver related. I'm not 100% sure with that, but they aren't, you know, the stability, there have been a couple of occasions where the game just crashes the desktop for no reason whatsoever, and you don't get an error message or anything, it just happens. There's also been a few times when I'm going through the journal to see what quests to do next, that clicking on one of them there then makes the whole game just freeze, and you can't get out of it unless you do Control-Alt-Delete. And because it's an EA game, it's highly unlikely that that will ever be addressed. So that's a bit of a pain in the arse. There are also some graphics glitches. Sometimes items such as loot or items you need to examine, you can't reach them for some reason or other. And also there are occasions when characters like guards here, like this guy here, just float right past, seemingly from nowhere. And I'm also seeing another one. There's all this loot that's appearing right in front of me here, or right next to me. After an enemy sort of flashes up there, then disappears, and then the loot appears right next to where I'm standing. So that's a glitch that I have literally just discovered just this second. So yes, there are problems, but I mean, those problems are, I have to say, relatively minor compared to like the rest of the game. The game is, I say, fantastic. I recommend it to anybody who has even the slightest interest in PC RPGs. And even if you don't have any interest in PC RPGs, giving this one a try could change your mind. It's great. So what do I score it? I score it 9.5 out of 10. If it didn't have those glitches, it would get a 10 out of 10, no question. This is easily my game of 2014, or 2014 I should say, as I pick up some more of this. So I'm doing alright for hardened Gernhide just by standing here. But yes, it is no doubt my game of 2014. 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, as I say, if it wasn't for those glitches, it would have got a 10 out of 10, and it would have got it quite easily, really. So there you go, that's Dragon Age Inquisition. Fantastic, that's all there is to say about it. And I think I'm going to have some more loot appear in a minute. No, I'm not. So, yes, go and get it. You will not regret it. So anyway, there you go. That brings this video to an end. Seems rather unusual for me to actually do a review that's positive for once. So yeah, there you go. That brings this video to an end, and we'll see you at the next one.